End of day one, and this is what your job looks like. Here's all of the material stacked up down here right by your kitchen. And this is your lovely new ceiling. Ta-dum, ta-dum. I don't know how much you can see of it, but let me try and zoom in a little bit for you. Here, I'll just put this here. And we'll zoom in on your lovely new ceiling. There it is. See the fiberboard or the polyurethane, polystyrene rather. That's what it looks like. And this extends the whole length of here all the way to the front. So you have a new ceiling, which is pretty good insulation. And there you have it. The wire is hung down. Now, if we want to put more lighting in here later, what I suggest we do is you can have a chandelier if you want, but I don't think they go off very nice light. What I would suggest is to run two lines of lights. Here, one line of lights would be right over the stove, and the other line of lights would be against this wall facing the kitchen. And I have a lot to say about that. I'll tell you all my ideas about lighting later, but it's 5 o'clock, and Richard just went home, and that's what you got in one day's work. So you've got a new ceiling. There you go. Congratulations. Okay, day 2 of Lara and Patric's Big Time video. Here we are with our foam core board, polystyrene foam core board, putting the daubs of adhesive on the back of it. So far, what we have done is we have over the door and the left and the right side of the fireplace, and it goes all the way to the corner, and it's starting to come around now, and it meets the molding up on top, just like that, which is pretty good actually. I think that's a nice meeting for where this board meets the molding on the top. It's a pretty nice little fit. I don't even think you'll really need anything to finish it out. You could put something up there if you want, like a piece of trim or something like that. Otherwise, what we're doing is we're bringing it down to the height of the chair rail. And I'll show you a detail of that. We have a piece on the bottom, which is on the flat on top of the chair rail, and there's your curtain-rods. And this board comes down right to here where it meets this on the flat. Then there's going to be an uninsulated piece of rock that sits right against the face of that. So the top of the room is insulated, but this part of the room is not insulated because it would take up quite a bit of space, probably more than you realize. And after you hang a radiator on one of these walls over here, it would stick out an extra 3.5 inches or so, which I thought might be a problem. Plus you have circulation down here, which keeps the interior of that wall from getting wet, and I thought it'd be better not to put the insulated rock on the bottom and eliminate the circulation. So the detail looks like this as you go across. Bingo, here you go. That's what it's going to look like. And we took out for around the door, just like this. So when you want to hang your new door between your bathroom or your living room, this is flush with the frame of the door, and we feel pretty certain we'll be able to get a door for you that will be smaller than this opening. So when we do that, we'll be able to put fur out for the new door frame and hang a new door in the bathroom and to the stairway. So there you go. This is the detail above the door going into the bathroom, and that is flush with the top of the door frame. So that's the way it works, and we'll fill in that. Okay. Other than that, that's day 2, and I don't know where we're going to finish up with this after we get finished, but we've gotten a lot of work done. So there you go. Hey Patrick, hey Laura. Here we are at the end of day 3, believe it or not, and we have made fantastic progress. This is your new insulated in back of your fireplace. And we'll get some non-flammable sheetrock to cover that opening as it goes through the wall. This is over your, oopsie daisy. This is the only door that's not finished. I mean, this is the entrance to the hallway, which is now rocked and insulated. The camera's going to go crazy when I go past the front door, but that's the front door. Everything else is rocked. We've got rock all over the place. We've got rock around this door over here, all the way up to the top. That's the trim. And this is your big wall over here. We weren't able to get the bottom of it because of the electric. I think tomorrow we're going to have your electric guy come on back and put this electric down to the baseboard, kind of where it's supposed to be. But right now we're just holding a couple of pieces of rock up around what is essentially an opening on the bottom. And we've got to do that tomorrow. But everything on top of all the doors is basically done up and looking good. Okay? And the ceiling looks good. We're going to start putting in the rest of that tomorrow, which will be day 4. But this is the kitchen, and this is the line between the living room, which is, as you can see, has been done. That's the living room, or what I refer to as the living room. And then here is the kitchen, which is the only part that still has to be done. So tomorrow we'll get the kitchen ceiling. And we're not going to do anything over by this electrical panel because we're going to have to figure out what we want to do with it. And over here is not going to have anything done with it either. So tomorrow, the kitchen ceiling will be in. And this place is getting pretty toasty, folks. It used to be that we couldn't get warm at night, and now I think by the time we're done, all we'll have to do is turn on the lights, and we'll be plenty warm. See you later. Hey guys, here you are on your exciting day 4 of your project, and it's coming beautifully. Richard was just here. I'll show you what we got done yesterday. Here's your kitchen, and here is your new kitchen ceiling. And all except for that last row, it is complete. So you now have a lovely new kitchen ceiling, and Richard and I have come up with a very clever way of filling in all these joints, which will involve making sort of a plaster, filling in the joints first of all, and then going over with a roller and plaster solution, thin, and then doing it twice, maybe a real quick sand down and then another plaster solution. And that'll give you a uniform surface to paint. And then we'll paint it. Then you'll have a lovely painted ceiling. But all the rest of this room is now placoed. And you have your placo board all over the place. And man, is it different. It really is. This here, well, you can see for yourself, this little fire in here, this little tiny fire, which previously couldn't have warmed anything, actually has this place kind of toasty. I had a few little logs on there earlier. And you can really, really tell the difference in this room now. So once again, what we decided to do was not do the bottom, so that's going to be done in regular rock, and the sides are all done with your placo board. So that's what that looks like on the sides, and it's huge, the difference. Eventually, I guess we'll run down and get a couple of doors and hang some doors. Excuse me. And the only piece left to do, we've got to get Douglas, the electrician, back and have old Douglas lower these sockets and put them down on the floor, and then we'll run the board all the way down to the bottom. But so far, that's your job, folks, and that's as far as we've gotten, which is pretty far. Sue, we're scheduled for Douglas to come, or for Richard to come back next week, I believe. He didn't know exactly what his schedule looked like, but we'll be in touch with one another over the weekend. And he may come back here on Monday. If he comes back on Monday, we'll start the taping of your joints and the eventual plastering of the ceiling. Okay? There you go, guys. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.